If you can't put your phone away during work hours, this isn't the job for you. I work as a direct support person. My company have some serious hate toward cell phone. They used to fire people on spot if they are caught with cell phone. Because of COVID, my company have been suffering badly. They lost about 40% of the staff and roughly half oversights. So they are basically hiring pretty much anyone and throw overtime at anyone who asks for it. But they still are really struggling. It is to the point where they have to have someone pick clients up and bring them to other clients' place because they don't have enough staffs to cover everyone. I work with large amount of clients and am pretty much capable of do almost anything that supervisors can do. I'm also the ones who have trained many other employees. So they often come to me before they go to supervisor. Last week I was working and I was bored out of my skull as usual. I was working with this client who don't want to do much besides watching TV or playing on his tablet all day. So I was on my phone. One of the managers walked in and sneaked up to me and tapped me on the shoulder. I turned to look at the manager and casually say hi. The manager then acted like I was surprised and tried to hide the fact I was using phone. I was casually holding it as the manager gave me a long lecture. I told the manager, I work 16 hours a day and took on many tasks that I don't have to just to give the supervisor some breathing space. I sure damn as hell am going to use my phone when there's nothing else to do. Quote. Manager then smirked and told me to put my phone away and told me I'd have to come down to the office sometime in the next few days. I remind the manager of how shitty some employees were. Hours late every day, literally sleeping on job, etc. and didn't got fired. So it is really unfair of them to get all up in arms about me being on the phone. I was told if I can't stay off the phone then this isn't the right job for me. I went and grabbed my stuff then clocked out. The manager was jumping all over the place screaming about how I can't abandon my clients. I told the manager if I wasn't being nitpicking for tiny thing that doesn't affect anyone, we'd not be in this jam. The manager begged me to stay for just a bit so someone can come and take over. I say no. Got in the car and left with manager standing there watching me dumbstruck. A bit over an hour later supervisor contacted me and apologized for what happened. I was informed that they really need me around and from on and now if anyone come in. As long as I put the phone away, no one will say a word. Since I like my supervisor and am friend with many employees, I don't want to make things harder on them and I also need money. I reluctantly agree to come back the next day. But if I ever hear anything about me being on the phone again, I'm gone. Just a few hours ago, the manager come in and saw me on the phone. I just put it in my pocket and got up. We had a short conversation about work issue. Not a single word about the phone was mentioned. Nice job calling their bluff. I applaud you for being a direct support professional. That is hard and thankless work. The pay is usually not great for such a hard job. Of course the behaviors of the clients is what can make the job hard too, especially when they are lower functioning. I could not imagine doing that during COVID. I'm not shocked half the staff has left. I did that type of work for 2 years. It's not for everyone. The beatings will continue until morale improves. Any manager who will hammer on trivia during a crisis should really be flipping burgers somewhere. It's remarkable how often jobs assume employees have economic need to keep them in line at work. I remember being a teenager and working at Burger King and how our managers basically had to throw extra cash and free meals at us to get anything extra out of us because we all were a bunch of kids working for fun money. I got $20 out of my manager's pocket on top of my usual pay twice when I agreed to come in and work, when I had other plans. Sometimes you have to call their bluff. My job is currently understaffed and still couldn't see their way to treat me with respect. I put in my 2 weeks notice after my royally pissed me off. Sucks to be them, but maybe they should have paid me fair wages and not treated me like dirt. The moment you said, "I'm working 16-hour days," he should have apologized and walked away. And when you are bleeding workers, you don't piss off the productive ones that have stuck it out. You think with the lack of employees that they wouldn't be pushing the employees' buttons and acting like big shots. You are never too big to fall. Many people have thought that and they fell from the top. You finally have them trained. Knowing you're so necessary you can call a manager's bluff is the best feeling. Tears of joy. Also, if you can't be on your phone when it's silent and nothing's going on, you're practically asking people to fall asleep. I don't know what they're thinking. Good for you. Employees like you get taken advantage of so fucking much and then get nitpicked for some bullshit. Power trip. Just because their home life sucks and/or are jealous of you doesn't mean they need to pull that shit to get a feel-og control, one-up over you. Our company has certain policies with regard to wearing business attire in the office, but my manager does not chastise us even if we wear casual clothes, as long as we're wearing something decent. My manager said that we work long hours to the point that we'd sleep at the office sometimes. She'd overlook something as trivial as clothes considering the work that we do. Now, since you know how valuable they are, force their hand into more pay. Way to assert yourself. But the whole, "I don't want to fuck over my friends, coworkers," thing wouldn't be your fault in a situation like this. Honestly, that fault lays square on the managers and their poor management. I would like to think that your coworkers would also realize that as well. It's a job, not your family. Also, it might be time to look for another job anyway. Once things clear up at work, they will remember the phone incident. You demanded a raise though, right? If short, need you, beg you to come back. You can do all of the jobs, and they're willing and able to pay overtime. They can afford to pay you more. You were holding all of the cards. You have a fuck ton of leverage right now. Ask for a raise. It sounds like you're an irreplaceable employee. Might want to discuss a raise. Or really you could have done it after you quit. At the end of the year. Or quarter. Damn. Here I am using my phone for work to look up OpenStack questions cause I don't want to walk to my desk to use my computer. Lol. Capitalism at work. Boss has an unreasonable policy? It's a buyer's market, so it better be worth what you make for him. Beware of being asked to train any new hires. Your supervisor may like you, but there is a chance that manager will be gunning for you now. Get out of there. You're on the chopping block now as soon as they can find someone to replace you.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.